Well, I'd love to jump straight into a conversation about our Flowjects today. So thank you all so much for being here. And this is a really important conversation for many reasons, and many levels. So I appreciate all of you being here, wherever you are in the world. And right now, I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the most important things along this journey. And the first place to start, as always, is welcome to this call. This call is all about humanity. This call is all about the bigger projects for humanity that we are engaged in and we're interested in. And to start that conversation, we must always start with who we are. And on this call, many of you are coming from many different places and spaces. Some of you guys are new to this conversation. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome. Some of you guys have been around the traps for a very long time. And if you've been here for a long time, then thank you so much for being here. This is a conversation all about the Ultimate Human Foundation. And the Ultimate Human Foundation is a global collaboration of a lot of leading doctors and scientists and specialists, but also ambassadors and people just like you that are here to support a change in humanity and the trajectory of humanity and where we're going. And our mission stands to eliminate all chronic pain and disease by 2050. And what we're really talking about there is creating a world that's all about health and hope and happiness. And so this is always the context that we come back to. This is always the conversation that we're here for. And that really sets the scene to understand why we do what we do and why we're here. So why are we here? Well, we're here for that exact conversation. And we've got a lot of really big conversations that we're most interested in. And particularly, we're going to start with a conversation that many of you guys may have heard before and many of you guys may not have heard before. But this is based on the concept of what I refer to as spiritual biology. And this is really, we went through this in the Global Ambassadors Retreat just recently, if I can see a few people who are on that retreat. And we went through the understanding that each of our major religions accepts that there's something that's greater than the human experience. There's something that we may refer to as spirit or whatever the belief system is or terminology that it is. But there's something greater than us, that we accept that as a human being, we all are born and we all die. That's what we all have in common. And there's a continuation of our life that's past death, whether that's in spirit form or whatever it is, whether we go to heaven or hell, whether we're reincarnated, depends on the religion and the belief system that's there. But the conversation is always about there's more to the conversation. And so we're here looking at the hypothesis, if you like, that there is our spirit chooses our body that we come into for a particular purpose. And if that's the case, then we are operating on the hypothesis that if our spirit chooses our biology or chooses our body that we're in, then there must be a reason or must be a capacity for our body to be able to do what spirit is here to do. And so off the basis of that, we are really exploring a lot of things this year. And I know many of you on this call have been involved in some of the conscious communities that we've been creating around the world, which we're really excited about. But at the center of this, and we covered this a little bit in the Global Ambassador Retreat, and for those who haven't checked that out, I really encourage you guys to get along and see it. I think it's a fairly impactful and life-changing experience for all involved. And we're really looking at saying, let's start with you. You're the center of the universe as far as you're concerned. So let's actually start with you being at the center. And so it's all about saying, who are you? What's the personal me? Let's look at who I am. Let's look at why I'm here. Let's look at the basis and basics of all that is in terms of me as the person in the middle. Let's also then understand about why I'm here on the planet. So I am here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. So what is that? And how does that look? And what are some of the things that may be involved in my genius or my purpose along the way? And so this brings us to the concept when we're talking about us, of our purpose, of our natural genius, which is essentially our capacity to do what we're here to do in the world. And also this concept that we have of this thing that we call flow. And so when we understand our identity and our purpose for who we are and why we're here in the world, we can then understand about our natural genius. And our genius is essentially our purpose in action. And so when we've got our purpose, we know what it is and we're starting to do something about it. That's our genius that's there. It's able to show up. And then we understand when our genius is put into action, we're actually in flow. And this is essentially what most of us are striving towards in our entire lives without us realizing it. And it's a really, really cool thing. And so for those who are on this call who've been in flow before, you know how amazing it feels and how incredible it is to be in flow and just to show up and almost feel timeless and feel like you're completely passionate about everything you're doing and nothing feels like you ever work a single second in your life, which is kind of a cool thing. So this is the concept that we're most interested in discussing at the moment, is this concept of all being in flow, which is essentially saying I'm living my purpose or I'm doing what I'm here to do on the planet. I've realized and reconnected or found or discovered or uncovered why I'm actually here. And so once we understand our personal nature, our personal me, then we can start to look at the fact that we're not just here alone. There's 7.5 billion other people around us on the planet, with no coincidence about that, that there is this thing called community. And then we look at saying, well, we understand our personal genius, our purpose, our flow. Now let's have a look around us and look at the community, and let's start to connect. Let's actually be human beings and have some connection. And once we start to connect and understand how others are in flow, why don't we have a look at some collaboration and seeing how we actually work together and how we flow together. And once we understand about how to flow together, we can understand how we can co-create together and create the things that are here for all of us to experience and to enjoy while we're here on this planet. So this is the next layer, is the community layer. So we've got the personal me, then we've got the community around us with all of us together. And the layer around that is about humanity. So this is about our contribution. This is about how we actually contribute and a unique genius and a unique flow towards humanity. This is how we actually take action and have an impact on the billions of lives that are all around us. And so this is something that we cover in quite a lot of detail, again, on the Global Ambassador Retreat. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. For those who aren't familiar with that, please get along to it. And I believe we've got some live streams available for that too, if you need to dial in and if you can't make it. I think our next one is in Mexico, and maybe Jules and Mars can confirm that after this call. So that's where we're sitting at the moment for the personal me, the community, and the humanity side of things. And this is really, when we get to that point, we say, wow, this is so cool. I now understand who I am, understand about my purpose, my genius, my flow, understand about this connection with others around me in my community. I'm really super excited to collaborate with them and to be in flow continuously and collectively. And I'm really excited to start to co-create a lot of incredible things. I want to contribute everything I've got. I want to create impact. I want to take action. I want to do this. And so we sit here and go, that's so cool, so exciting. What are we doing? And so in our last Ambassadors Retreat, actually, we've done this quite a few times, is we sat down and we listed out, well, if we're so excited, we're all here to change the world, what are we actually going to change? What are we going to list out, and what are we actually look at changing? And so we went through a whole bunch of things. And for those, again, who are on this call, we said a whole bunch of things in many different areas, actually, of health, in education, in politics, and governance, and all these areas. There's multitudes of areas. And if we go through this exercise, which I won't do on this call, it takes quite a long time, in fact. And there's a lot of things that we always want to change. And the uncanny aspect of this is that every group that does this, no matter who they are or where they are in the world, all come up with very similar things that they want to change in the world. And so this is where we say, well, how would we make the world for our children or our children's children? What would we need to change? And so these things that we want to change for the world is what we obviously term as problems these days. And so the most important conversation about that is not what we want to change, but what we'd actually do to change it, otherwise known as solutions. So what solutions do we have for the problems in the world? And so we then go through a bit of a process that looks at the different categories that we have involved in the different things. So for example, one of the areas that we did at our most recent retreat, which was in Thailand, an incredible retreat for global ambassadors, was one of the categories that would change in the world was health. And so we then took health and put that in the spotlight. And so we said, okay, under the massive category of health, what would we change? What would be some solutions for this category called health? And so we came up with a whole bunch of different areas in health and under health category that we'd want to change. This is everything from health in the workplace to awareness about our health and the choices that we have to like everything under the sun. There was so many there. And we said, great, well, now we've got all those, we can just pick one of those. And so we picked, one of the examples here was we'll pick health in the workplace. And so we looked at all the problems that we have with health in the workplace, all the solutions we can have. And we created these actionable projects, if you like, from that. And that was just one example of one little thing out of all these problems that we have and all these solutions that we can come up with. And so where we are at the moment, we say, great, we've got whiteboards full of problems. We've got whiteboards full of solutions, which is exciting. And the uncanny thing is that all the solutions, no matter who you meet with and where you sit in the world, all tend to be the same. Everybody knows what the problems are and everybody knows how to solve them. Isn't that crazy? Yet here we are with all the problems in the world. And so what we're here for really for this conversation is to say, well, what if we actually just decide to do something about that? What if we just said, you know what, enough talk, we talk a lot. What if we could just take action and go and change it? What if we could actually just go and do or create the solutions that we know will fix the problems for the world, for our children and children's children? So here we are. And so this is us simply understanding that we can understand what the solutions are. We can go and get into flow, so our personal flow, connect with our community and go and have an impact on humanity. And so this is where we can get into flow and complete the projects for humanity. And so this is where we say projects for humanity from a place of flow equaled Flowjects. So instead of having humanity projects from flow, we called them Flowjects. I know we're still potentially looking for a better name, but as we stand, we've got Flowjects, and Flowjects are here, and they are here to stay if we want to be staying on this planet. So really where we sit, again, in all we need to do to change the trajectory of the entire human race is to just get started and solve these problems, one at a time, or better still, hopefully, if enough of us come together and help collaborate and contribute our genius for humanity, then this may only take us years instead of decades to get to. So I can't see any hands, but who's excited about changing humanity and who's excited about doing it sooner than later? I certainly am. So that brings us to the conversation about why we're here. So, and I guess why we're here is, I guess all of you guys, if this conversation resonates with any of you in any way, shape or form, that's why you're here. If you're in the wrong conversation, then thank you for joining us. And we wish you all the best and look forward to touching base with you again soon. But we hope that all of you guys are here because you're interested in this conversation. And if you're interested in this conversation, then you're at the right place. So I guess the first question from here for all of you guys is, who do you know that may also be or should also be a part of this conversation right now? And if so, please make a list of those people. Please make a note of the people you might want to get in touch with and reach out to them after this call, because together there's a lot of people on the planet that are really interested in this conversation. They're really interested in actually making this a reality for them making this a reality for them and actually having this as a center point for their life's purpose. So if you can do the world a huge favor and share any of these conversations with them after we finish this call, that would be much appreciated, so that we can actually all come together and contribute to make the world a better place. So what I'd like to do on this call right now is just briefly take a moment to look at some of the Flowjects and go ahead and discuss or mention a couple of these right now. So I would love to just do that. And whoever's the host of this, would you mind just muting everybody? That would be much appreciated. I don't know if we're at that point yet. I think we're good to go there. So thank you so much. So for what I'd like to do right now is just to share my screen. And again, this is the premises that we've already had a lot of conversations with some really incredible people over time. And this conversation over time has been really remarkable in creating incredible things for the world. And I'm just going to share a few of those as we talk about them right now. And I'm also going to talk about quite a lot of them as we go that I won't show on the screen. So this is the concept here, if this is going to work. This is a Flowject or a project that has been created before that many of you guys may find familiar. This is a concept here that was all about understanding how unique people are and how that different people need different things for their body, and how most people have no clue about that, no clue where to start. Most people are overwhelmed and confused in the world. And what if there was a way that you could actually understand, first and foremost, that you're different, understand, secondly, that there's different things for your unique body and mind, and third, understand what they even were so that you can actually take action for it. Imagine how cool that would be. Well, welcome to this conversation that we call ph360. And I think everybody on this call, or almost everyone on this call, will be familiar with that by now. And if you're not, then this is just a very brief insight. This is an understanding about, this is just an area of the section that's called foods. This is understanding about even the best time of day for you to eat foods. There's an understanding about the different recipes that those that foods for you can substitute or create. A food guide as to when you actually want to eat your foods and the times that are there. And there's a lot of different conversations in here that we may not go into too much. But the food list here is, this is just an area, if the internet's going to work well enough, is just going to go through the specifics of exactly which foods are good for you. So spinach is something that's really excellent for me in this example here. And you can have a look at even more about this food, because most people want to know the science of medicine. So we can have a look at all the science of medicine behind why this food is specifically good for me. And there's a lot of evidence that you see in there, and there's a lot of understanding about this. So it's a really great, exciting conversation that we have. We then say, well, if spinach is great for me and many other things are great for me, what is it that we can actually put down? So we can have a look at a carrot cake smoothie, for example, for me, which is ingredients with carrots, apples, and cinnamon, which is all things great for me. So there's many, many things that are part of this conversation. There's even understanding here that in terms of our food guide, what sort of things are best for me to eat and how often. I need to know all these sorts of things as someone who's interested in my body, and even our planner that we have that's available here. I want to know what's actually good for me for the week and what things are coming up, and I can go ahead and pick whatever things I want for dinner, and I can add that to my week, and then I can actually have that's there presenting for my food shopping list as I go, and very soon I'll be able to order that online or have that delivered to me, or even book a table out at a restaurant to go ahead and organise the things that are best for me. So this is a concept. This started again as a very simple concept that was there, which talked about saying we need to understand that we're all different, and how can we actually go about being different? How do we understand that? How do we actually take action and choose to change our behaviour? So this again is something that's a really, really cool concept and really cool project, a really cool flowject, and a great example of something that's come to life already, and we call it ph360. So there's another flowject which is off the back of this, and again, many of you guys who are familiar with all these sorts of conversations that are here, this covers the food and exercise and lifestyle choices that are there for you. If you want to look at streaming some workouts online, if you want to look at lifestyle choices, understand more about the different areas of your mind or your social habits or the environments that are good for you, or your natural genius that's there, and even a good schedule of things to do for sleeping and other things like that. So this is a conversation that's really, really exciting and really, really fantastic actually to see some things that come to life from the flowjects that we share. So I hope that everyone can see this okay. And this is, again, just an example of a project or flowject that we've used called ph360. And there's many great things here and many great coaching resources for those who aren't familiar with this. Please take some time to jump in and check it out. There's lots of great things in there. There's now also a concept that we have called Shay. And Shay is a virtual health assistant. And the virtual health assistant is essentially now taking this information here, takes information from this resource itself, from ph360, and actually presents it to you in a way that's deliverable for your natural resonant frequency. So it will take you to a conversation to be able to say, hey, Matt, we understand that the best time for you to have dinner is coming up in the next few hours. Would you like us to organise that for you? I'll say, yes, Shay, that would be fantastic. And so Shay can go ahead and book a table at a restaurant to match a menu that's good for me, or order food delivery for my body at the right time for me to eat it. So there's lots of great conversations, and I've talked in many different places and spaces about this, so I'm not going to go through it again now, but it'd be really great to check out Shay. Shay was another flowject that was made live to the world about just over a year ago, which is really exciting. And it's set at the moment for, in the next few months, I believe, to go live to over 60 million homes in America, which is really exciting, through TV distribution networks and cable networks, which we're really, really excited about. So this is some great conversations, some great flowjects that are starting to come to life. And again, you've been able to download Shay from the App Store, from the Android store for just over a year now, and it's evolving as we go. So you'll see under the resources section here, there's lots of other flowjects. And lots of these other flowjects here, if you haven't seen these already, there's this concept called the Health Starter Pack. A Health Starter Pack is essentially saying, well, imagine if you had ph360, which is a really detailed conversation about each specific food and things to eat. Imagine if that was a little bit too overwhelming for you even still, which it is for people. And the concept of Shay, which is there, again, to change behaviour, or to actually make sure that we can look at a complete change in sustainable behaviour, so that we can actually not just know the information that's good for us, but we can actually implement it and do something about it. That's really the exciting thing as to what we're here for. And if we can get to that conversation and get to that place and time, what about that if that was essentially all we needed? And the tagline is health without thinking. But what if there was even a place that we need other people to start? What if that was even still too much for some people to be able to handle? And the answer is that's actually true. And so we're here to say, what if people just wanted to get started? What's a simple, easy way that we can get started, and what's a simple, easy way that we can actually understand the things that are best for us? And so this concept of the Health Starter Pack exists, and the Health Starter Pack exists for the specific purpose of understanding, oops, that's not the one I want to go to, for the specific understanding about why we are here in a very easy, tangible way. This is a PDF version where people can not have to log into an app. You can literally just have a download of ingredients and menus and recipes and exercises and daily meditations and all these great things for 10 days. It incorporates a detox for people in there. and it's specific for each different health type. So it's a really incredible way to engage in the conversation, which brings me also to a conversation which we might need to cover right now, which is called the health type. And the health type test is something that some of you guys may be familiar with. And this is a test that was created to understand or to help with awareness for people, to say, let's have a look at creating our actual understanding of the framework that's going to be really helpful for us to understand how different we are. And then once we understand how different we are, we can understand what to do. And so the health type test is a 3-minute test that's online that many of you guys would have done. And if you haven't, then please go ahead and take this. And if you haven't shared this with everyone you possibly know in the world, please do. It's free. And it gives people incredible insights and information as to what's good for them and who they are and how different they are to other people that's out there. So it's a really incredible resource for many people to use in many different ways, shapes and forms. So again, please go and check that out, and please understand that this is something we're looking to share with everyone in the world. So please help us do that. And if you're here to contribute, then we'd love for you to contribute that in some way. So the health type is a really great basis, and understand that we have a number of different health types that are there, and all of you guys fit into one of the different health types. And this helps you understand where to start, where to navigate. So off the basis of understanding your health type that sits there, then we can actually go and have a look at the different things for getting a health starter pack. So your different health types have different health starter packs, or different ways they start with their health. They also have different ways that they would do detoxes, different ways they would do many different things. But the health starter pack is a 10-day health starter for any different health type. And of course, it's very specific for each different health type. We have another Flowject here that's called the Health Lounge. And the Health Lounge that's here is something that's been created to be able to bring into play. Again, if you haven't been to the Health Lounge yet, please come and check it out. A lot of resources, so health books, audios, courses, podcasts, and many other things that's here just to help you understand what's actually behind it. And I'll just quickly log in here. So see, and this is the Health Lounge that exists for those who haven't been in the Health Lounge yet. It's 100% free again, so please get in there and check it out. And there's a whole bunch of free resources. There's a health type report that's there. And again, for those who haven't seen the report, I'll just quickly show you right now. If this internet is going to work. Thanks for your patience, guys, as we're coming up here. Oh, it's not going to load up on my internet. So as we go, this is something you can just view online, or you can download it. It's also got a massive wellness resource library that's here, which you can go and explore. And as we go and explore through here, you'll see a whole different lot of books and audios. You can join the community. You can have some different health experiences. You can look at the podcast. You can join the Health Summit, where we have incredible conversations with leaders from all over the world in health. And again, all of these are just Flowjects in themselves. The Health Summit that's there, health courses that happen, different mind programs that exist, wellness retreats. There's a video lounge that's there, Personal Health TV, if you haven't checked that out. Great Flowject with many people who are just living the concept and living in the flow of their personal health. We have blogs, we have ambassadors, and there's so many more that aren't even listed on here in the Health Lounge. So if you haven't checked out the Health Lounge, that's a Flowject in itself that houses many other Flowjects inside of them. And again, all of these Flowjects or projects are just here to help lots of people. And this is all 100% free for anyone to check out. So if you haven't yet checked out the Health Lounge, or haven't shared this with everyone you know, please do. The vision for the Health Lounge is in the future will be the one place that everybody goes to when they Google health, and they can get all their answers and all their things that will be here in that way, shape or form. So please go ahead and check that out again if you haven't already. And that's a concept that we call the Health Lounge. So there's, again, many different things that are here. The health type test we looked at. Personalized detoxing is something that's a really important conversation that we have spoken about briefly. This is coming off understanding also about some retreats and things that we have for retreats that are really going to be helpful for people transforming their own life. And the transformation that we're looking to exist and to have with people along the way is something we can do so well when we can have an immersion. And I think there's a number of you that are listening to this that have been to a retreat with us. A number of you have participated in a retreat or been in team at retreats, and you know firsthand what's possible in people's lives and how to change things in such a significant way when we can all come together in the one space at the right place at the right time with the right people around us. And so this is, I guess, epigenetics at its best. And so there's incredible amounts of retreats that are, again, another project or Flowject that have been put together over many years. And this has now formed a really, really amazing a bunch of projects actually where we can look at doing an online retreat that's here. We can look at doing a detox retreat. We can look at doing a health and wellness or revitalizing retreat. We can look at doing a healing or spirituality retreat. There's a concierge service to do with medical management. And there's also some provisions that are happening for any people in any circles that need possible. So I'm not going to go through each of these individually, but just understand there's so many different projects and flowjects that are all possible because of so many people contributing and collaborating over the years. So this is, again, some things about experiences, and this is all the things that can happen. And I just want to highlight for right now the detox side of things. This is understanding what is a detox anyway. And we talk about the fact that this is now a personalized detox, that all our conversations that we have understand that everybody's unique and everybody's different. And the fact that we're all different means we all need different things. That's a really important message. And often we just hear about that from the body. And so we talk about the different bodies that are different. But this is also different minds. We'll have different unique minds, and we'll also have different unique spirits. So it's a very important conversation to understand we're all different on all different planes of existence. And that's a really important conversation that we're going to explore a lot more as we go, and I'll touch on in this call as well. So again, a personalized detox is really important, and you can go ahead and you can look, and you can even do this online right now. I think you can look at the difference between the different types of detoxes. These are the different health types that you'll see here: activators and crusaders and sensors, diplomats, guardians and connectors. And you'll see the different reasons for detoxes, the different types of detoxes that happen, and even the different organs in the body that we need to preferentially target when we're detoxing. So these, again, there's a lot of different information that's here. If you haven't done that already, and if you haven't checked out all this sort of stuff already, then go and check it out. And for everybody in the world, again, if we're sharing lots of things, there's an online detox for those who want to just get started at home themselves. It's a really easy way to jump in and get started very, very simply. Or go through all this sort of stuff. So share, it's extremely inexpensive. This one, I think it's like $27 or something like that. So everybody in the world can go and do a detox that's right for their specific body right now. And again, these are just projects and flowjects that we've all been created over time. So I'm going to keep going with what we're talking about here. So anyway, without going too much into the health lounge and the different concepts that we've got, I'm just going to wrap up the fact that we've got a lot of different projects and flowjects in those sort of areas. And these are, again, just to show you what we're working on. And all of these are a journey. As our specific journey is here in this life, in this body, we all are on a journey. We're always learning and growing and evolving. So too is any of our projects or flowjects will be a journey until the end of time, most likely, because things change all the time. We change all the time, and everyone around us and their minds and their consciousness changes all the time. So we always want to be evolving and growing, and always want to be on the front of the curve so we can help others with what they need on their journey too. So jumping on from that, we've got this concept. One of the things that we talked about a lot was the concept of being in personal flow, understanding what would it be if we actually lived in flow for 30 days and trialed it. This is something that we did last year in Mexico with a whole bunch of us that went to live in a conscious space or in a conscious community, to say what would happen if we all lived together in flow. So we all had to live our own personal flow, but we all then had to live in flow with each other. And what would happen if we just did that? If we got our minds out the way and just put it on the shelf, and if we just lived as spirit would intended through our biology, and we quantified that and just lived that, what would actually happen? And it was incredible when the transformations and the experiences that we had were remarkable. In fact, one of the flowjects that we have off the back of that is a documentary. And this documentary is all about the future of humanity, which we've called Humanity X. And so Humanity X is a really exciting conversation and flowject in itself. About that, and we've got some interest from some Hollywood producers for that, and we're going to be filming some of those things this year on that flowject or project, which is really exciting. So more to come on that, but off the back of that, this is a 30-day project, which we've called the 30-day Ultimate Lifestyle Project, which is Project Me. And so this is 1 whole month of your ideal lifestyle, work style and mind style. And as you can see here, this is what it's all about. What do I do? Where you can register to join the conversation. And this is a really, really exciting thing that we're going to be doing this year in July. And we want to be inviting and encouraging all of you guys, obviously, on this call, and everybody you possibly know to come and do this. And this is where you get a whole month. If you're a ph360 member, or if you're not, you can have a membership for a month to come and just live as your body and as your mind and as your spirit intended, and see what happens. And we're just going to encourage a lot of people to share that on our on their social media networks, and tag some friends in to do it too, because it's free and it's going to change everybody's life. So this is, again, another project that's here called Project Me, and all thanks to so many people that have been involved in these projects to get them up and running. But again, these are just examples of the projects that are here. We also have, off the back of that, we have people who are really excited to be managing or leading people in their local areas, because our community is fantastic and it's a big virtual community, but how cool would it be to actually be human beings and connect with people close and around us? And so this is a conversation that I know, again, many people on this call are city leaders, and this is being part of a leadership team and the city leader program that's here, and how we actually get to lead others all around the area and all around what's happening as we go. So this is where, again, for those who haven't, the applications are closed at the moment for this year, but I know a bunch of you guys are going to be starting very soon with our city leaders, which is really exciting. And this is where we get to influence a lot of people around us who are looking for some direction, who are looking for some answers, who are looking for communities to stay plugged into. This is anything from catching up for workout sessions in the park on a Sunday morning, to family fun days, to dinners just with great conversations, to any sort of workshops for people who are doing conscious curriculums and educations and things like that. So there's so much that's here, and this is our city leaders. This is the people who are in charge of bringing together a conversation in local areas, so little actual communities all around the world, and we're really excited about that. It's an incredible project and Flowjects. So thank you guys for being involved in that. We have a conversation that's here that's called Shay Fit, and this is another project that says, I wonder where people are sitting in the world. And as we're going here, guys, too, if you're live on this call right now, I know many of you guys will be watching a replay, but if you're live and you're interested in these, feel free to make any comments along the way. And in fact, I'm not sure if Mars has already put this in here yet, but Mars, maybe if you could just put a link to the project itself, an area where people, if you're interested in these conversations or be involved in any of these projects or Flowjects along the way, we'd love to hear from you, love to connect with you. And we've got a page where you can come to, and you can actually express your interest. Let me just bring that up right now if I can. Let me see. I might need a link from you, Mars, not to get it wrong here.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Fantastic. All right. So if this comes up in a sec, there we go. So the Global Ambassadors page that's here. So I'd love to encourage all of you guys to go and check this page out, either now while we're talking or to do this afterwards. Will be great. At the bottom, you can enter your details here. So your personal details, what skills and genius you have. So the different health type that you are. You look about what you're currently up to and the areas of expertise that you have. And then we'd love to, the things you're interested and passionate about, which different Flowjects we've been talking about today on the call, and any others that you're passionate about and excited about, you can go ahead and put your details in, and we would love to connect up with you. The process from here, when you're interested in joining this contribution and this collaboration conversation, is we're going to have our project managers reach out to you and connect with you, and to get you in and get you up to speed with all the things that we're doing in these areas, and to invite you to join us in whatever way that you want to do, whether some people might want to contribute an hour a year towards it, some people might want to contribute an hour a week, some people want to contribute their entire life towards this. But again, this is based off of the whole concepts that we're here, we all have natural genius, we all are here to contribute towards and collaborate towards humanity. And so this is a beautiful invitation and a way that you can do that if this calls to you and resonates with you. So please go ahead and check out that. It's ph360.me/global ambassador, and the link is in the conversation. So thanks for that, Mars. I appreciate that. So off of the back of that, this is a conversation that was here, which was called Shay Fit. And this is understanding that we have a number of different people who are already interested in their health and already interested in their wellness. And where do they sit in the world and what do they do? Well, they actually are the people who've already bought gym memberships, or already engaged in conversations about actively being involved in their health. And so Shay Fit is a conversation where we can understand the principles of Shay. Remember, Shay was Siri for your health. So it's our little smart virtual assistant that can work with you and help you in any way, shape or form. And Shay Fit is the application for gyms and health clubs and memberships and personal trainers, for that to be able to help people actually understand, and you'll see here a bit more about that, to be able to understand the natural things for you to do for food and for exercise and for tracking what's there. And so this is essentially for people who are there for the conversation in health and fitness clubs, which essentially says people who are already ready for this, who are already spending money on their health and fitness, and who want to actually have something that works for them to help them get results, to help them have a better quality of life. So that's the concept of Shea Fit. I'm really excited about that. And the same concept was saying, well, if there's people who already are interested in that are here in the health and fitness clubs because they're the people already taking action, what about the people who are interested in this in a way, but they can't really take action or don't have that? Where do people spend most of their time? And the answer is at work. Most of us spend our time at work, apart from probably people on this call or if you're watching the replay. This is a concept that's called Shea Wellness. And Shea Wellness is all about for things at work. This is all about looking at the corporate side of things. This is about saying, how do we help people become healthy at work? And how does this actually work for that conversation to happen? So we go through a whole different conversation here with Shea Wellness. And I've actually got a little demo login here that we can have a look at, I think. As to the interface for Shea Wellness, again, like ph360, this is a conversation that can talk a lot about your different healthy habits that are happening, about self-care at work, about the sort of foods that are there, resource centers as to what to do while you're at work, even different schedule breaks for being at work. And there's a lot of great things that are here. We even have a health index that can talk to you more specifically about different things like diabetes and your mind health and inflammatory, digestive, heart disease and heart health. So actually, I can actually track risks of disease and actually improve risks of disease at the workplace, as well as look at when you're best productive for different times of day to be creative or to be strategic or to implement or to analyze. So whatever these things are can actually give you very specific things throughout the day. So I won't talk too much about that, but this is the application of ph360 and Shea in the workplace, again, so we can actually help people be healthy where they are, even if they can't do much about it themselves, or so they think. This is a conversation we're having with people at work and with employers to help their workplaces be healthy. And it's a brand new conversation that's exciting. And the conversation is it's different because everything so far, the health and wellness programs exist, but don't actually have great results. We look at the stats and the diseases and problems in the world are getting worse, but our health and wellness programs at work are getting far, far more. So we have all these interventions and unfortunately no solutions. And it's a pretty simple thing. It's just because we're doing generic programs. We're just saying, cool, everybody should meditate, everyone should stretch, or everyone should get a massage or whatever it might be. We're kind of missing the point that everybody's unique, and to change workplace health, we actually just have to talk to each individual. And that's just the conversation that we're bringing with Shea Wellness, which is really exciting. So again, if any of these resonate with you at all, we'd love just to connect with you along the way. And if you're connecting along the way, we'd love to just hear from you and just reach out and say, cool, these are things I'd love to be involved in. And I'm just going to close these as we go because there's lots of things going on. Retreats that we talked about, detox that we talked about. And this is a detox group that's here. If you haven't joined this, again, it's free. It's incredible information. This is a personalized detoxing group. So again, just type in personalized detox in Facebook if you haven't been there already, or you better get to it through other avenues. This is a great, incredible about what a detox is, about ways to detox, and so many different pieces of information for each different health type. So diplomats, here's some great things and great information for you. And there's some really, really incredible content in here. If you haven't checked this out, then please check it out. This is for the Guardians. Again, there's conversations in here that are actually really, really incredible. You'll see all these sorts of things for diplomats coming through, Crusaders, and all the stuff that's here for all the stuff that you need. So again, take the time to check this out. There's really, really incredible information that's in here. And you'll get so many tips and tricks for this. And if you're looking to do this for your specific health type, then just scroll through and check that out. And that's really exciting too. One of the other Flowjects that we have is all the different Facebook groups for each different type, each different health type, because we also understand that when we're looking at different health types that we have, we actually know different things, we want different things, and we want to hear about different things in different ways. So activators might want to, just give me the quick tips and quick information and give it to me. A Guardian might be like, hang on, just give me a lot of information, let me read it all. Diplomat's saying, great, give me all the data and the information, as well as let me read on it and think about it for a while before I implement it. So again, each different group has a different focus, and they're already live. And we're looking towards a lot of people to come and help out with making those what they are too, because we can have the framework and the theory behind it, but the practical application when you have real live human beings working on it saying, oh, I'm a diplomat, here's what I want to hear about, here's what I want to see, here's what I want to touch and feel, and here's the information I want, then we can go and create that. So we can't do this without you guys, and we can't do this without all of us contributing. And again, there might be a handful of people that are on this call and a whole bunch of people that watch the replay at some stage, but we're looking to impact billions of lives. And so we need to share this far and wide for us to get where we need to get to. So that's our detoxing side of things. We also talk about the conversations that we've had so far. Again, this is the link if you haven't been to it already. This is ph360.me/global ambassador. Please go there and please enter your details and information. This is the only way that we're going to be able to know if you're super excited to be involved and contribute towards the future of humanity or not. Just because you're on this call, it doesn't mean that we have any connection in any way, shape or form. So if you want to connect with us and want to contribute and want to be part of what we're doing, and an incredibly huge growing community that's really conscious and really making a huge shift in the world, then please chuck your details in here. Let us know what sort of things you're interested in, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'd love to reach out and get you involved in whatever it is for you. Again, just remember there's absolutely no obligation for this. Some people even just want to be involved. Just say, cool, I'd love to be involved. Just keep me in the loop, and I'll just share it with friends when it comes up, because for other reasons in my life, I don't have the time to contribute right now. But I'd love to stay connected, love to stay involved, and I'd love to share this with heaps of other people that I know that would be loving to get involved as well. So whatever way, shape or form, please stay connected with us. We'd love to hear from you and love to have you join our growing, superiorly, rapidly growing community that's out there making a huge difference in the world. So we talked a lot about physical things so far, and a lot about the physical side of being unique and about changing things, about changing our health, and lots of projects and flowjects for that. And now I want to just introduce some conversations for the mind. And I think many of you guys would be very understanding or up to speed with some conversations that's more to do with the mind focus and the spirit focus. And so we have a concept just like we had ph360 before. So I probably should show the ph360 site for those who haven't seen that before. And this is a conversation that's certainly more focused around the body and around introducing concepts of the mind, which is the personal health 360. And that's a lot of the basis that we've done. So you can come here and have a look at different conversations and things here. There's a lot of ways that you can do this, and we haven't been through them today, but for health professionals, there's different courses that you can be doing and understanding. There's different sciences that you can look at. There's different experiences. And if you're a health professional, or if you're interested in studying more about this, you can learn about training the principles. And this is another incredible project and flowject that's been happening all over the world now for different fitness professionals or natural medicine professionals, allied health professionals, for medical and academics as well, as health coaches, life coaches. So there's some really incredible conversations and projects that are happening here, which is really, really exciting. So I encourage you guys to check that out. And that's, again, more for the body and more for the things that are happening through there. So that's a really great way, a really great conversation that's there. And outside of the body, we have conversations for the mind and spirit. And this is understanding about personalized spirituality and personalized mind, things that are here. And we have a lot of great things that are here in terms of resources, in terms of gatherings and circles. We have luminaries or numinaries that are there, and a lot of experiences, which is anything from healing sessions and retreats to a lot of intentional gatherings all around the world. So you can go ahead and check this website out too. It's normanice.org if you want it. And there's a lot of great projects and flowjects that come off of this. And some of these that we have experiences-wise, I think we've talked about before, are very transformational retreats that we saw earlier. There's also some great conversations that we have about gatherings. One here that's called Healers Fest. And this year, Healers Fest is a bunch of people that get together that are really either people starting out on their journey or have been on their journey for quite a while, that are looking to utilize or discover their natural gifts and talents. And each of us at our core are healers in our own rights. Each of us have different talents and natural abilities in those rights, but all of us have the capacity to heal, whether it's our own bodies or assisting other people's to heal. Then there's many different ways. This is what Healers Fest is. This is a website that we're really excited about. Our next gathering here is coming up soon. I don't know when you're listening to this in the future, but there's a lot of great things about Healers Fest and the conversation that exists that we'd love to invite you guys to gather and to join, and a lot of different paths that happen here, whether it's different alternative ways that you can connect and how we go about that. So that's the conversation, another project or flowject called Healers Fest. We also have another concept here and flowject called Mind Cloud. And Mind Cloud is a great way for people to connect and to understand more about how to be inspired for journey and how things, again, like for example, can be there. And this is a great conversation about things to do with the mind, to do with spirit, to do with heart, and many other great ways that we can be looking at connecting in ways that we would think beyond our current understanding and comprehension, but also to be able to actually understand that there's other people who are doing this too. And this is a place that we have our incredible content creators and and creative geniuses that to contribute towards things, anything from sharing their own personal journeys and their own personal life experiences to creating some short courses online and many other things that exist, like articles and blogs and even short courses and video courses and workshops, other things that are all to do with different places and spaces, to do with the spirit, to do with heart, to do with the mind, to do with our purpose, and to do with lifestyle choices as well. So you see a lot of different things that are here, and this is something we're really excited about, very, very excited about bringing into life very, very soon. And so if this is something that appeals to you as well, we'd love to hear from you about these. So again, just connect with us on our conversations and these Flowjects as much as you'd like to be involved. So that's a concept called Mind Cloud that we're very excited about exploring more. So I'm just going to be closing these tabs as we go. I'll type test. So the one that I'm going to come back to here, and there's so many of these along the way. I was going to go through all the different projects and Flowjects that we have, but there's so many that are here. And so we're going to get a link. Oops, that's 2016. We're going to get a link to, well, you can see this is the wrong link, but you can see this is actually the schedule for 2016 that just came up. You can see the category of people that we have, a lot of leaders in the world, like David Katz and JJ Virgin. We have Bruce Lipton and Ariel Ford, Howard Martin from HeartMath, Joel Furman, John Gray, Matt Kahn, Lynn McTaggart. There's so many people here, Lynn Twist, that we had, and we have these health summits that we run every single year. And this is, I think, going to be our 4th year that we're running it, coming up this November. So again, this is 100% free online. Please register to join the conversation, and you're about to see all the different things about what's happening and who we are and why we're here, and a lot of the great people that are going to be joining the conversation again as we come around this year. So please go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But there's just so many of these projects and Flowjects that we have. We have over 50 projects that we're working on at the moment, and we'd love to invite you guys to be part of any of those at all that resonate with you. And so what I'd like to do just now is to, again, invite everybody to go and check this out and open this link, which is ph360.me/global ambassador, if you haven't already. While we're here, I'm just going to stop, well, I guess I'll stop sharing my screen so that people can go and check that out as you need to. While we're here, we have the incredible opportunity to go ahead and actually take action on these sorts of things right now. And just recircling back to the start of this conversation as to why we're here, we are here for the specific purpose, of making a difference in the world. That's why we're here in this conversation. We talked about why we're here from the Ultimate Human Foundation, our mission, our impact, our purpose. We talked about our personal purpose, our personal me, our personal identity, purpose, our passion, our connection with the community around us, and the community to connect with humanity and have an impact. But to do that, we have to take action. And we all have our natural genius and our natural things we can contribute to the world. And in the future, we talk about our contribution currency, where we'll actually be able to contribute, and that will be how we survive as opposed to doing things for money, which is something we just made up a while ago as men that will change again in the future. So we're here to contribute our genius, our natural talents, to help the world be a better place. We've got a whole bunch of solutions, which we're now calling contributing towards solutions, where we've got projects for humanity done in flow is Flowjects. So we're calling these Flowjects, and we have a whole bunch of Flowjects that you can contribute to, and we'd love to invite you guys to come and join. So whether you're here because you've been part of something already, or whether you're new to the conversation, we'd love for you guys to connect with us. We'd love for you to share with us which things resonate with you. Just throw out anything at all. You can say anything we've mentioned on this webinar, or tons more. Again, we'll have this listed on the site very soon, all the different Flowjects that we have available for you guys to come and be part of. We'd love to hear about the genius that you want to contribute, about your natural genius. Some of you guys might have natural brainstorming capacity. Some of you guys might have the capacity for doing some great like networking or social media sharing. Some of you guys might be here just to I don't know, go and write some great emails or some things for the website to make the website look pretty, or to connect with greater organizations that can share this far and wide. Whatever it is that you have as your unique genius, we'd love to hear from you, love to connect with you so that you can help share this, and we can help share this with all those around. And again, we hope, and my wish for everybody is that you guys can just feel really, really compelled and called to contribute your natural genius towards what's happening, to contribute and collaborate with things that are happening to change humanity, and then share this with so many around us. Because when all of us come together and do this, we can change the world really, really quickly. When all of us do this in a very slow, disjointed way in all our different directions, and it's going to take us a long time to get there. So we're providing an opportunity and an invitation for you guys to come to the one space and make all this happen. And I'm super excited about that. So thank you all so much for being here while we're here on the conversation. I can see some comments starting to come through. So thanks guys for all the comments. I haven't been able to keep up with them on the call right now, but I really appreciate all the things that have been happening so far with all that are here on the call and so many that couldn't join us live today. And we've got hundreds and hundreds of people all around the world that have been contributing towards these Flowjects for over the past few decades, actually. And I really appreciate everybody for being here in this conversation now. Whether you're just about to start, whether you're already underway well and truly, please, please, please disconnect with who you are, realize why you're here on this earth, and please help us make a difference on everyone else's lives, because together we can. So that's all for me for now. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this conversation. I really hope to hear so much from all of you guys and to personally connect with all of you guys very, very soon. And one of the things that I think we talked about at the start was come and join a Global Ambassador Retreat if you haven't already. It's where you personally get to discover your purpose, your passion, your identity, and all the things about the personal me. You get to meet all this community that's here already doing this and connect with them live, and then create some incredible projects for humanity and move towards shifting the needle and making a huge difference. So once again, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited about this conversation. I'm very clear on my purpose and for my contribution, and that's why I do what I do. And I really, I'm super excited for you guys to be able to join the conversation, and would love to see many of you guys live or in person or virtually very, very soon. So that's all from the desk, the invisible desk right here, right now. And we look forward to seeing you all again in the very near future. Thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I think maybe we can unmute everybody that's here just to say goodbye, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and just yell out one word that you're most passionate about right now.
Super excited!
Peace. Well, peace.
Yeah.